again, YouTube. It's me, Jacob Austin, and I'm here to continue to tell my story and give my tips about an amateur filmmaker who wants to make monster movies. He wants his monsters to look good, but not to be too expensive. And today, it's time for me to talk about claws. So there you are. You got a mask, and it's a good mask. Of course, there's always the glove option, and depending on what your monster is, that might very much work. On top of that, I've seen a lot of people who've been able to make gloves and then put different fingers and things on it. Those are all good options. But of course, my personal favorite, when you're able to do it well, is to get gloves. And thankfully, Amazon has a lot of very good and very inexpensive options. So first off, I'd like to point out these black gloves. Yes, each one of these will be down in the description in the order that they were presented. So, don't let the white fool you. In extreme harsh lighting, it might look a little extreme, but when it's in the dark and so forth, it's the one thing that really saves this glove from completely disappearing. There you go. So these are, I have fairly big hands, so these are pretty tight on me, but tight is good, actually, because it makes it look more realistic. Use these, love these. They work very well for, but once again, you've got to have like a very dark monster, or one thing I like doing is having like a complete cloak and just this hand being visible. That's really creepy. You know, kind of A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, The Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, where all you see is the hand. This is a very good, creepy option for that. Another pair I found that are pretty good are these. Now, one thing I found that has been frustrating is in some pictures, it looks slightly different than it does in real life. These are an example of this. These are really good gloves, don't get me wrong, but a lot of pictures make them look more like white rather than more of this light skin color. So don't be fooled. If you're looking for something that's more skin color, this is great. But if not, I recommend looking at my previous video on the Slenderman costume from Ghoulish Productions. But these are great also. Not too tight. Also, it holds its body a bit more, so if you put cotton in it or something, it could be a good like severed hand. That's always a great option. Now this one's a bit of a sad story. Zagoni Studios was one of my favorite as I've been making my videos, but it looks like they went out of business. So they were a really good company for trying to get as cheap as possible, but for the highest quality. Here's one of their gloves. They're still around on Amazon, but stock is running out, sadly. But here we are, Zagoni Studios. Their gloves are really good at adding the hair with the glove and this black claw. So yeah, you'll want to be careful about bright daylight or direct sun contact, but in the showers or things, this is perfect, where it moves very well, looks really creepy, all you could want. Next we have this pair. These two are a little tight, so actually I did have to cut a little bit to make sure my hand could get in and out. Now these ones, so these are a very good medium green. So like I've got a darker green mask and a lighter green mask for like more lizard-like monsters or reptiles. So they work for both. The color is right in between, so that makes it very nice. Love the white claws to kind of stand out. Now you could probably color these like a yellow if you wanted to, but they're pretty good as is. And then last, but by no means least, Ghoulish Productions has multiple sets of hands. I've seen reptile ones, I've seen like these zombie ones, I've seen these like creepy scarecrow ones. But yeah, here we've got this one. I've used this one multiple times. This like skeleton hand. So yeah, I've seen these used by other filmmakers. People seem to love them. Yes, there's the palm problem, same that we had on the Slenderman hand costume, but as you can see here, it looks very nice like this, and as long as you're careful with the angle, it's really good. Or maybe even, I guess you could like maybe wear like something underneath, like a black something, so that if you see it for a second it doesn't hurt. Or of course there's the making it into fingerless gloves. Either way, here are some great gloves out there by Amazon that you can purchase. Yes, so it's sometimes hard to find the exact color, so maybe you gotta experiment, but that's the good news. Most of these gloves are very inexpensive. So even if it's a little bit off, sometimes the camera is very forgiving. You gotta experiment a little bit, but here are a few good options that should really help you. So once again, if you could please subscribe so I can keep making good old-fashioned monster content. I'll see you on the next video. Have a good one.